My name is Andrew Collins, and I never thought that an ordinary job on a factory floor could turn into a battle for honesty. It all started with a simple desire to work with integrity, and ended with the dismissal of a manager who had built his career on other people's achievements. But let's start from the beginning. 2 years ago, I joined Technopro, a manufacturing company specializing in components for electric vehicles, battery casings, mounting brackets, cable assemblies. It was a modern facility full of automation, industrial robots, and digital monitoring systems. I got assigned to the assembly and testing department, where most processes were already digitized. On my first day, I met my supervisor, Mr. Peterson, a confident man in his mid-40s, always with a cup of coffee and the latest smartphone, which he proudly called his second brain. At first glance, he seemed like a true leader, fast, decisive, with a good sense of humor. But over time, I began to see the cracks. He rarely came down to the shop floor. Most of the time, he was either in meetings or working remotely. And whenever something went wrong, it was always someone else's fault. I was 28 at the time, a recent engineering graduate. I understood SCADA systems, PLC controllers, knew how to work with digital twins of equipment, and could write Python scripts for data analysis. That gave me an edge. I could fix problems and optimize processes faster than most. So I started taking initiative, automating workflows, calibrating sensors, generating real-time reports through the ERP system. But somehow, all the credit and all the reports went under Mr. Peterson's name. I discovered it by accident. One late evening, I was still in the workshop, finishing code for a new production line that would automatically send data to our cloud system. Peterson stopped by for a minute. "Hey Andrew, you're doing great," he said, patting me on the shoulder. "Just don't forget, I'll send the report myself. It has to go through the right channels, you know?" At the time, I didn't think much of it. Let him send it, what did it matter, as long as the system worked. But a month later, during a company-wide meeting, the CEO, Amar Irving, made an announcement. "I'd like to commend our assembly department manager, Mr. Peterson, for launching our new real-time monitoring system. This is a major step towards smart manufacturing." Applause filled the room, and I stood there, silent, because I had built that system, line by line, from code to deployment. But I said nothing. I told myself the result mattered more than the recognition. I was wrong. Months went by. I worked harder, introducing new tools. I wrote a downtime tracking program, created a chatbot in our corporate messenger so technicians could report issues right from their phones. Productivity went up, morale improved. Mr. Peterson would often tell me, "Andrew, you're my right-hand man. When the time's right, we'll make sure you get that raise, maybe even a promotion. We just need to show stability first." He always sounded so convincing, and I believed him. Until one day, I overheard him in the break room talking to another supervisor. "Yeah, I've got this guy in my team. He's handy, does what I tell him, but without my supervision, he'd mess everything up. Good thing I'm always there to correct him." I froze behind the door. That was the first time real resentment hit me. At the start of the next year, the CEO announced a full digital transformation. The company was embracing Industry 4.0. All departments had to integrate data into one unified cloud system, so management could see real-time performance. It was a challenge and an opportunity. Mr. Peterson came to me. "Andrew, you're our tech expert. Set up the servers, dashboards, all the fancy stuff. They'll handle the paperwork and reports." I already knew what that meant. I'd do the work, he'd take the credit. But saying no wasn't an option. I teamed up with two colleagues, Lena and Eli, and in 3 weeks we built a prototype. I'm QTT broker for live data, a Grafana dashboard, integration with ERP and systems. It was beautiful. Real-time production stats, machine statuses, alerts, all in one place. But when the project was presented to management, the slides read, "Project lead, Mr. Peterson." He spoke in my words, showed my code, told my story. After the presentation, Mr. Irving came up to me. "Andrew, you helped out on this, right?" "Yes, I did. Good job. Keep it up." And that was it. My work, once again, had no name. The turning point came in spring. The company wanted to use AI to predict equipment failures, a predictive maintenance system. As always, Peterson said, "Andrew, you're the guy. Build a model, and he'll talk to management about the rollout." So I gathered historical data, trained a neural network, built a user interface. We launched a pilot. The model predicted breakdowns with 92% accuracy. It was a huge success. When I asked about a bonus, Peterson sighed dramatically. Andrew, budgets are tight. I can't do much now. But you have my appreciation, and that's just as valuable. When things get better, we'll take care of you. I didn't believe him anymore. 2 days later, a corporate email went out, greater than bonus awarded to department manager Mr. Peterson for successful implementation of predictive analytics. That was the last straw. The next morning, I walked into his office. Mr. Peterson, I began, why did you take credit and the bonus for my work? He leaned back, smirking. Andrew, you don't understand how this place works. Everything goes through leadership. I'm responsible for the outcome, so the reward goes to me. That's how it is. I'm not asking for favors, I said calmly. I'm asking for fairness. He raised an eyebrow. Careful, Andrew. This isn't a startup, it's manufacturing. We value loyalty, not pride. If you want to grow, stay close to management, don't start fights. I turned around and left, but something inside me snapped. I was done being his digital shadow. A month later, the CEO announced a surprise inspection. He wanted to see how the new systems worked in real time. Normally, these visits were planned, giving Peterson time to prepare, tidy up, rehearse, make everything look perfect. But that day, things didn't go as planned. It was Monday morning. Peterson called. Andrew, I've got a meeting downtown today. Keep things running. If anyone asks, tell them I'm in touch. I just nodded and went back to debugging the reporting module. 2 hours later, Mr. Irving walked into the department, unannounced, no warning. Good morning, he said. Where's Mr. Peterson? He said he's at a meeting, I replied. Interesting, the CEO said. I just spoke to the city office. No meeting scheduled. My heart started racing. So, who's in charge here right now? I am, I said. Let me show you. I walked him through the live dashboards, explained the architecture, the models, the data flow. I showed him the code, the automation scripts, the predictive maintenance charts. He asked questions, sharp ones, and I had all the answers. All of this you built it yourself? Yes, sir. He frowned slightly, then glanced at a camera feed on the wall. Come with me to my office. Half an hour later, Mr. Peterson rushed in, sweating, out of breath, phone in hand. Mr. Irving, sorry I'm late. That meeting ran longer than expected. What meeting? The CEO asked calmly. You know, the one at the administration office. I just spoke with them. There was no meeting. Peterson froze. Mr. Collins here, the CEO continued, just demonstrated every system you've claimed credit for. Would you care to explain? He stammered. Sir, we're a team. I just guided him. He needed direction. Without me, he'd be lost. Guided him from a cough. The CEO cut in. I checked your access logs. You've been in the workshop fewer than 10 times in the last 3 months. Silence. Mr. Peterson, the CEO said, standing up, you'll receive your termination notice tomorrow. No severance. Security will escort you out. And just like that, he was gone. Mr. Irving turned to me. Andrew, starting tomorrow, you'll act as department manager. If you handle it well, make it official. I nodded. My hands trembled. For the first time, I felt seen. 6 months passed. I became the official department manager. Higher pay, greater responsibility, a team of 20. But I made myself a promise. I would lead differently. I'd never take credit for someone else's work. I'd make recognition transparent. We implemented an open reporting system. Everyone could see who contributed what. And a portal called Idea of the Day where anyone could suggest improvements. I learned something vital. Technology can make a factory smart, but only honesty makes it truly efficient. During the next CEO walkthrough, Mr. Irving smiled at me and said, now that's real leadership. And I smiled back, because for the first time, it was real. Sometimes I think about Mr. Peterson, not with anger, but as a lesson. He could have been a great leader if he hadn't built his success on lies. The world's changing. Digitalization isn't just about robots and sensors. It's about transparency. Every login, every code commit, every workflow is traceable. Deception doesn't last long in a world that records everything. And I'm glad, because truth is a technology too, the most reliable one we have.